Hey guys, I'm RNG Gamer. I play all my games randomly. Let's do a freaking Atari game. People like to rag on the Atari, talk about how it's lame and boring. The Atari still has a lot of really good games on it. It has a lot of fun games, and I'm surprised that I discover new games on it all the time. And here's one I've never heard anybody talk about. It's Solar Storm by Imagic. So this came out in 1983, and it's the only game by Imagic that uses the paddle controllers. And I think the paddle controllers are the peripheral to the 2600 that makes it feel unlike any other console I've ever played. If you watched my Atari 50th anniversary celebration reviews and all the videos I've talked about it, you'll hear me complain about a lot of the early games are kind of unplayable on that edition of the game because it was designed to be played with the paddle controllers, and it makes it really difficult to just use the analog sticks instead on your PS5 controller or whatever. If you've never used a paddle controller on a 2600 before, your mind would be blown at just how precise you can get with one of them. It's the most precise controller in terms of movement I've ever seen. When you watch people play like PC games and things like that, and they're playing Quake and it's, lightning fast and they're doing these micro movements, it takes thousands of hours to get that good at doing that. I feel like everybody gets that good on a paddle controller in like 10 minutes. You're whipping around the screen lightning fast. It's shocking how good you can get with it and how well you're able to maneuver just turning a wheel left and right. So Solar Storm is just a wave-based single-screen shoot-'em-up like Galaga or something like that. And you use the paddle controller to position your ship, and then you just press the button to fire. And after a few waves, you go into the kind of over-the-planet view where you have to rotate your turret like the hands of a clock. And occasionally a spider or something comes down, and if you shoot it, it nukes the entire screen. And if you let too many enemies get by, the Earth gets destroyed. It's a really simple premise, but it is a blast. It feels great playing a shoot 'em up with a paddle controller. Tapping the button on the Atari controller is not great, never has been, but the game plays extremely well and extremely fast, and it's great in short bursts. Like any Atari 2600 game, it looks fine. It looks good for the time period. It's not gonna wow anybody today. I don't know that it wowed anybody, oh my gosh, 41 years ago. But it looks good enough. There's no music whatsoever, just the beeps and boops from the Atari 2600, but still, a good enough presentation to keep you engaged. You could just not play this game with any other kind of controller. You just couldn't do it. I know I'm like bragging on and talking about the paddle controllers, but if you've never used one, you don't know. It feels so good and so different. I think that's one of the reasons that I enjoyed playing this so much. I haven't played anything like this in years, and it just felt like a different experience. I've played a few shooters on the 2600 that use the paddle controller, but I don't think I've played any that were like this fast and hectic and played this well. This is the only one Imagic ever put out using the paddle controllers. I wish they had done more, man. I would be like trying to go buy them today on eBay. But give this one a shot, but only give it a shot if you've got a real 2600 and real paddle controllers. If you play this on an emulator or some compilation somewhere, I don't even know if it's on a compilation, you're not going to get the same experience. I think that Solar Storm on the Atari 2600 is an 8 out of 10. It's great.